Hello everybody! Today I wanted to do some more on the 31-day tarot challenge. It's been a couple days, but I've been really busy. Things kind of pick up and there's always like a flow of in terms of clients where everyone wants to come all at the same time and then there's moments where then it kind of has a little bit more of a downtime. So I am now finally at the little end of this cycle of things kind of not being so crazy, so that's always nice. So now I can make some videos again. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out the lighting here. There we go. It's a little bit brighter. Who's getting all deep and dark? Jeez. And I wanted to come and film out here because it's nice and bright and sunny. I've got lots of light and I like it. And I like my orchids too. Oh. This is like my favorite space right here. I even have little fairy stuff kind of going on over here. My son, yeah, you can actually see it, but my son made this. It's like a little kind of fairy house, and it has a roof here that can pop off. And it's super cute, and then I have a little fairy here in this orchid. So it's our little fairy area, and just get her propped up. She doesn't want to stay anymore. Maybe she wants to move somewhere else. There. Okay, so anyways, we are on to day 18. And the question is, how do you pick your decks for readings? For me, I like to, it's almost like I sit and I ground for a minute before the client comes, and I think of the client, who the person might be, like even just on their name. Because sometimes, you might not have an image of what the person looks like. So I'll even just think of their name, or what am I, where's my intuition kind of guiding me what to bring out in terms of a deck. Like sometimes it feels more like shadow work, darker kind of theme decks. And other times it feels like the energy of the air is just like brighter and happier, and so you kind of want more fun decks, just those lighter color palettes. So definitely I rely on my energy and intuition. What I'm finding more and more as the days go by is that my energy often is very much in sync with the clients that I have that day as well. Generally, we're pretty in tune with each other, so I can really sink into, well, what am I even feeling at this time? If I'm unsure about the client, I'll just think about, well, where am I being pulled to? What decks would I like to work with? And almost every single time, I am very close, and if I'm unsure, I'll actually have a few out as options, and then when the person's actually there with me, in front of me, I can really hone in on their energy when they're actually present, to be able to do the reading. But otherwise, I just sink into, like, say it's an email reading and all I have is just a name, then I would just sink into, what am I feeling for this reading? I usually do a channeling for each reading I do, so I've already tuned into that person's energies and what they're all about, and sometimes they're like super goofy and happy, and other times it's like really like a trial time for them, and it's a more difficult time, path working time, lots of conflict. So then, I really judge the deck that I choose based off of that. So that's how I choose my decks. And I always have like a tarot and oracle as options. And if I ever get it wrong, sometimes I just look behind me because I have my decks right there, and if I feel like these decks that I had out just aren't working and I have one in mind, then I'll just turn around and grab my decks and have it there available. So that is for that question. And the second question is tarot rituals before and after. So I'm assuming before and after, like the reading before I do tarot. For myself, I don't have so much rituals like when I'm reading for myself. You know, I'll ground. I generally ask for, like, I do a little prayer before and basically before and after every single reading I do, whether it being for myself or for other people. And I'm always asking for, you know, for me, I like to ask for angels and guides to surround me in protection, come through these cards in communication with me, speaking of the highest of good, love, light, truth, and clarity. And so that's basically my thing I say every time. And I don't say it out loud, like I'll even just think of it while I'm shuffling. And then I just focus on what the reading is going to be about. For clients, though, it's a little bit different. Generally, for the clients, I choose my decks first. Well, first I center and ground. I think about that person, their energies. I think about my energies, and then I choose my decks, and we just went over that, and I get them laid out. Once that's out and ready, I actually do their channeling. So then I write that all out. It's always as like almost like an automatic writing. They give me a few words, I write it down, and then they give me more. And so it's a nice flow that way. So I do the channeling and the animal energy just as a warm-up. So after the reading is all done for the channeling part, this is all done before the client comes, by the way. So I'll actually, after the channeling, I'll look up the animal meanings because it's my warm-up. I ask what kind of animal energy, animal totem energy is working with that person that day. But I don't know the meanings of all the animals, so I rely on good old Ted Andrews. His animal totem book is really, really great. I have the pocket version right now, but my sister-in-law has the nice big one, and I want that one too someday. So, but right now I'm quite happy with just his pocket version. It's really good. And it's a quick look, which is perfect because I don't want something that's crazy long because it's just a warm-up. It's a warm-up exercise to get tuned into their energies. So, like into my clients' energies. So after the channeling, I look up the animal energy. I write those all down and get that ready. You know, if they're a first-time client, I always have a little $5 off their next reading kind of coupon. So I get that all ready for them. You know, if I need a glass of water, I'll have my water there. I always make sure I have water because it's just nice to hydrate because it's the worst thing ever. If you're in like say an hour-long reading and your throat becomes dry, you literally like sometimes you like almost like choke on it like on your dry throat, right? Because you can't really talk very well. So yeah, I would normally have a glass of water or tea, just kind of sitting and ready at least 10 minutes before the reading. And then I basically leave the room. I come out and I sit usually here and I just ground and I just kind of watch and wait for them to come. And I'm just grounding my energy. I'm tapping in a little bit, but not too much because if I were to get up, it would be too lightheaded. So I'm more just grounding, centering into my own energy. And then when the clients come, we go and do the reading. Then after the reading is done, like usually the person will pay and they generally put it actually the money on the table and I don't actually touch it. I actually I escort them, you know, like I follow them out or whatever and say goodbye to them before they leave, and then I go back to the room and I grab my Palo Santo, and I love Palo Santo for cleansing, smudging. For me it's top notch. Like I much prefer it over sage sweetgrass blend. I find it just does such a great job and it's such a beautiful aroma. It's one that my husband, it doesn't bother my husband, so it's kind of something we can just do together, like have it there and it's not bothering the family dynamics, so that's great. So yeah, I'll smudge the entire room, cleanse it, and I even cleanse like the money, the space where they're sitting. I cleanse the decks. And if they're really like kind of lower or they like lower energy, the client, or if they're just like kind of feels like a bigger presence here, like more like a lingering presence, then I'll even follow everywhere where they went with Palo Santo, even right up to the door, down the hallway. Yeah, I basically like do the entire thing. Yeah, so that's what I do. I'm trying to think if there's, oh, and there's one other thing I do. I reset my decks after I've smudged everything. I take the decks and I shuffle them a bunch of times and smack them on the ground, like on the table, kind of like, you know, kind of thing. Just like the kind of shuffling, resetting kind of energies. So that's kind of what I do basically. And I think that is pretty much it. And then yeah, that's it. So that is my ritual. It's, yeah, I really like it. It's good. And basically I come out here and I realize how sweaty I am, because I'm always like crazy sweaty during the reading, and I don't realize it while I'm in the reading, how sweaty I've gotten. And I think it's like a high energy thing too, because sometimes like there's so much energy coming through me and kind of radiating out that I think that's part of the sweating. So I have to change usually because it makes you cold. And that's actually something too, is my energy is usually a little bit lower. And I usually have to just have just a moment of downtime. Like I need to just quiet where I'm not talking lots. That's really important just for me to recharge for a minute. So I try not to book my clients back to back, because I just need that R&R time. Like even half an hour is nice, just to sit and drink some water and just recharge basically. So that is my routine. Hope you guys like it. Hopefully it is helpful and maybe gives you guys some different tips, tricks, ideas that you might want to use yourself. So thanks again, guys, and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.